I'm sure if you're a videographer, you have been mistaken to be a photographer many times. Yes, eventually videographers do become photographers. I was one of the videographers that solely focused on video, but I got mistaken too many times for being a photographer that I got lazy in my response and eventually just became a photographer to avoid confusion. If I can tell you one thing, is a lot of the things that I've learned in video I could apply in photography, but as well as a lot of the stuff that I learned in photography I could apply in videography. You need to equip yourself with both mediums, especially if you want to run and create a business out of it. I think it can only be beneficial. Today I want to give you guys some tips on a studio photography setup using solely continuous lighting or video lights. You want to ensure that your background is equally lit in order to separate the foreground and the background, especially if some of these photos have to go into deep etching or something like that. If you use different color backgrounds, just double check that the lighting of the background doesn't change the actual color of the background. I like to have my key light as my strongest light at a 3/4 angle. It's where only 3/4 of the face is lit and there's a shadow just slightly on the side of the face. If you have to divide the face into 4 quadrants, three of those quadrants would be lit and the other side would have the slight shadow. And the slight shadow effect really does give more to that cinematic feel that you can get. Okay, so 2 reasons specifically why I used the negative fill for these portrait shots is to just create a little bit more of a shadow on the one side of the subject's face so that the light can wrap around it a little bit better and ultimately, bring out the best lines that the face can create. And also to block my backlight, the lantern light, to not overpower that shadow and just completely fill it up so that the subject is fully lit. Next up is how we direct our subjects and how we can get them as comfortable as possible so that the best qualities of that subject can come out for the specific goal for the photo. Because you're not always going to work with professionals, you're going to work with people that feel uncomfortable in front of the camera, and your job is to get them as comfortable as humanly possible and bring out their best qualities without pushing it. I like to ask them what they personally feel is their unique selling point. What is that one thing that makes them stand out in a crowd? And if they can think about that one thing and just think about that one thing throughout the entire shoot with every pose or emotion that you try to get out of them, the natural raw part, best unique selling point of that person would naturally just come out. Hence why I also shoot in hyperdrive, so that the in-between moments, the moments that we're not posing, that come out, sometimes bring out the best photos, those unexpected gems. I like to have a tripod because moving the camera too much or shaking in and out can kind of screw up your focus and things like that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate the time. If you have time, you better watch this video, because this video was chosen right for you. And in this video would help you, to just sharpen up your video and photo skills, shooting different locations and things like that. Just how to up the game, a couple of tips. If I can give you one piece of advice, be bold, be brave.